Okay, guys, this is going to be my review of the movie Source Code. I really like it. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is great in it as the lead. I think this has, again, very much a Edge of Tomorrow vibe to it. You know, kind of like this idea of kind of reliving the same moment. But I think it's different in that in Edge of Tomorrow, it's literally the simple catchphrase of live, die, repeat. And while I think Edge of Tomorrow overall is a better film, this one has a little bit complexity of he's trying to stop an event. You know, he's kind of a construct of the mere event going on. And I love the complexity of the character of someone who's dead. They're taking their consciousness and putting them into other bodies in the past. So it's kind of like this film. What I love about it is it works on multiple levels. It works as a unique type of time travel film while being very sci-fi-y without having any of the big sci-fi cliches. And I just think, you know, kind of the setting of the train and the bomb and all the characters on the train, you grow with these characters, even though physiologically speaking, this character has only been with these group of people for 8 minutes again and again and again. So I just think this is a very good to great film. I just think I was intrigued throughout because it was just like the whole time I'm like, where is this mythology going next? You know, because I think the great sci-fi films always keep you on the edge of your seat, not just by story, but by what's going on. You know what I mean? Because the stories are great in great sci-fi films, but it's this unique concept. Like, I think the best sci-fi films have the best concepts. Because I think sci-fi films are the most conceptual genre. You know, a lot of the best concepts come from this genre, I'd say. So I really enjoyed it. Whenever it's on the train, it's great because it's so thrilling, so tense, because, 8 minutes and the shit blows up, so it's constantly moving once you're on the train. You're like, get there. And even though he relives the same moment every day, it's always interesting. It never gets boring seeing, the same train, the same thing happen. No, because each thing has a key important part to the ultimate, story, from getting off this stop, and then this and this and this, and so it kind of has this investigation feel, this sci-fi feel, the time travel film feel, the Edge of Tomorrow feel. The one big negative I have with this film is when it's not on the train, it's back in the future, right? Where it's the consciousness talking to the people who set him up. The girl, the captain, and then Jeffrey Wright's character, and the girl and Jeffrey Wright, they talk to him, right? But the big problem I have with that is it's all exposition, where a lot of this stuff you might see, but this film does a lot of tell, not shows. Like, they'll tell you about so much instead of showing it. You know what I mean? Where they'll give you so much exposition about. And I was always entertained because the exposition was so interesting, but it was almost too much of that. It was almost not all of it, but whenever it's not on the train, it's talking about who is, our main character. What is source code? What is this? What is that? And instead of showing who is our main character, instead of showing what is source code in many ways, instead of displaying and showing what's really going on, they're all telling us. And yes, they ultimately, at the end of the day, show us what source code, show us what all this stuff is. It starts out the conversation telling us a lot of it. But whenever it's on the train, it's great. But I was so intrigued throughout, even on the scenes where it's just exposition, because the exposition, and exposition is not a bad word, it's just how much of it are you going to have. The exposition was so intriguing, again, coming down to the core of the concept, was so intriguing that I was into it the whole time. And the ending was great, just kind of, making, he made everybody, he was able to get one of the guys to make everybody laugh, and at the end, the captain allows our main character, our protagonist, to end up living in that, body of the teacher. And it was great. It was just so interesting, and so it took on many layers and many concepts that wrap into one crazy complex, but honestly pretty easy. Like, consider, like, if I told you every big part of this film, it would seem way too confusing. But that's what I think that's what great directors and great screen scripts. That's what great screenplays and great directors can do. They can take what seems to be a very complex and confusing concept, but make it so easy to follow. And so I really enjoy this film. It is, one of my favorite films over quarantine. But anyways, stay tuned for videos coming right at you.